Hold on. Yeah, this time it worked. Yes. Okay, nice. So let me go to YouTube. Nice. We're in there. So now I figured out how to do that now. Okay, so now I know how to set up streams ahead of time. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick. Today we have a different type of show. We figured Joe Biden stepped down. Let me move this over here.
Oh, Kyle Kuzma just outed himself as a conservative.
Frank said Barkley's shirt is incomplete. It's missing the rest of the world. Or I can't read that. World tick? I don't know what that means.
I'll have to see the comment.
You'd probably know the reference.
Oh,
Remember,
lunatic.
you going on camera?
Lunatic. He's talking about lunatic. This is a Luna shirt from Sailor Moon, Frank.
Yeah, next time I'll just do restream, but I figured fucking Boss Man would have been like, I'm exposed. I'm half naked. I'm fucking.
Goddamn Bruce Leroy Dooley over there. Make another one, dickhead.
Reverend, can I get a sound check? Rev?
What?
Can you hear us? What do you mean, what?
Give me a second, buddy. I'm getting my stuff ready.
Oh, we'll get your stuff ready.
I'm getting a camera set up.
Go get your guitar, Reverend.
It ain't gonna work.
Got your guitar.
Tonight, back on what I was saying before, as we let a couple people slide on in. Tonight, we're just going to be asking a couple guys on the panel their thoughts and stuff about Joe Biden stepping down, and I've prepared some questions about presidents and former presidents. And when I mean prepared questions, I was able to, in my head, in about 14 seconds, think of 6 proper questions to ask tonight without writing them down. And I'll be able to ask them in a way that would make me look like I spent hard time on doing tonight's show. I'd like to special thanks a couple people that helped me out this weekend. One of them was Jim Crick, wherever you are. Thank you very much. I'd also like to give a special shout out to Shirley Wagon. Whatever you did for that car, it was a damn good car. And a special shout out to David Williams for buying the Sonata that was fucked. Thank you. Tonight on the panel, we have Reverend Robbins and David Barkley from the California portion of the world. There's Reverend looking good. Looking like he just got out of a chemotherapy session. But he's looking good.
He does, doesn't he?
Well, tonight, folks, Barkley and Reverend, I guess before, Barkley, you get into that speech thing you wanted to get into, I wanted to ask this question first, and we'll go one at a time. We'll start with Barkley, and then we'll go to Reverend. Barkley, when you originally heard Joe Biden was stepping down, what were your original thoughts and what was going through your head?
Expected. You know, the first thing that went through my head, and I'm sure we'll get into this later, but the first thing that came into my head was how for the last 3.5 years, we've heard the media, the Biden administration, and every Democrat on Capitol Hill. In fact, just after the debate, we heard how cogent Joe Biden was, how he's the most put together presidential candidate of a generation.
He's
There's
healthy.
nothing wrong
They said he was healthy.
Yeah. So despite the fact that they've spent the last 3.5 years telling us that he's of mind, body, and sound, and he's equipped to handle the job, he's quitting on his country. doing something that hasn't been done since LBJ, and LBJ never even wanted to be president. So you can't fault him for not running for re-election. His boss got assassinated, and he inherited the job that he didn't want. Joe Biden's a
Reverend?
quitter.
Reverend, what about you? What was going through your head when you first heard Joe Biden was stepping down? Were you upset? Were you upset? Were you thankful? Were you glad? Did you have an idea?
You know, you've seen how he was at the debates. I mean, he's 81 years old. Like you can tell he's definitely got some mental decline going. He's probably got dementia. He's definitely got probably Parkinson's. And we all knew it was coming. I mean, there wasn't any way he would have. There's no way he would have. He would have won. He would have. He was already down 72% from Democrats. They all
Who
thought
makes
he was to do
who
anything.
makes a decision for him to step down? Is this a decision he makes?
I think that if I'm speaking freely, basically what I think happened was the spigot, which is George Soros and all the other billionaires that the Democratic National Committee gets their money from, said if Joe Biden's the nominee, then this spigot's getting turned off.
Oh, so that's been confirmed. They told him no more.
Oh no, it hasn't been confirmed. It's just my opinion that the big donors
told
to
him no money.
the big donors of the Democratic Party probably saw how big the gap between Trump and Biden got after that debate, and they said, "Look, we have no confidence in this guy to beat Trump, so we're just not going to send you $8 billion this election cycle. How are you going to pay for a campaign if you don't have our money? We don't want him to be the nominee."
He said definitely was not Jill or Hunter's decision for him to drop out.
Jill is a big piece of shit. She should have never let him run.
BC said no one knows who made that decision. It's likely he didn't even know he stepped down.
I don't believe that. That's some punch a hole shit right there. He definitely knows that he's not running for re-election. Now, whether
Can
or
you
not,
imagine if they just put him in some rooms and they're like, "Do your speech," and he thinks he's running?
there's a conspiracy going on the deep right now, and I don't want to out BC too much, but BC is definitely way more far right than I am. BC is a hardcore, like a Bill O'Reilly conservative, and people have been mentioning today that Joe Biden hasn't been seen since his last flight on Air Force One. Nobody's seen him in public for 5 days. They want to know who's running the country. Lauren Boebert made a big deal today. She said, "I want to see Joe Biden produce." She basically said habeas corpus by 5 p.m. I want to see him produce himself. So, I mean, I don't think that Joe Biden doesn't know that he's stepping down. He probably knows that he's not running for re-election.
Hey, Reverend, let me ask you this a question because you're a Republican. When did you know you wanted to be a Republican for the first time? And with you being a Republican, does that mean Trump and Biden aside, no matter who the Republican is, you're going to go with, even if maybe you like the Democrat guy better, or is that impossible for a Republican to do?
I don't think.
I knew I was that's how we were raised. I mean, we were, Republican. We were, we were always taught, that the Republican was, blue collar. You stood for God and country.
That's true, BC. You did.
Those crazy Democrats, you had to watch out for them because they were wanting to take, they're wanting to abolish churches and they want to do all this crap. That's what we were always taught. I learned that I leaned more towards Republicanism, and I think it's just
Would you have voted for Clinton if you were old enough to vote then?
I would have.
Okay, so
Bob
so
Dole,
Clinton, first time,
Bob Dolan and HW, Reverend.
huh?
He ran against HW Bush, and then he ran against Bob Dole.
I was gonna say yeah, with Bush and Dole.
Yep.
Um, I was not. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Dole at that time. I was still too young. No,
I think Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Clinton was
might
Bill
I
Clinton was a
have voted
very
for him because
effective president.
Clinton was a good old boy. See that? See the
But
Democratic
yeah, but
Party.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. And Reverend will attest to this. Bill Clinton was not a coastal Democrat. He was more of a Dixie Democrat. He was a Southern boy. He was governor of Arkansas. It's a totally different kind of Democrat. It's if you, for example, the Democrats that we have in California aren't necessarily the same type of Democrats that they have in Ohio. You know, they may not even vote along the same ideologies. I come
Bob-
So,
from
Welcome, Bob.
a
to answer your question, Pesci, I would not and
well, he's already
You would not what? I didn't hear you, boss man.
he broke out.
many people off when they get in their way or they know too much about them politically.
He's talking about the Clintons being killers.
Oh. Now, boss
Yeah.
man, let me
Well-
ask you this, because I asked them
Sure.
already. I already asked them this. What was your first thoughts when Biden stepped down?
Well, I thought for Trump's sake, I think it's a scary development. Biden, I don't believe, would have beat Trump. I'm not sure that Kamala can, but I don't think Kamala, or whatever her name is, Kamala is going to
Yeah.
be their nominee.
First
I
time
still
I'm
am
saying.
holding out.
First time I'm
Still
saying
holding
this.
out that Michelle Obama is going to be their nominee, and Obama has not endorsed Kamala yet.
You know, Obama always waits until the 11th hour to issue his endorsement.
Well, we'll see.
You know that. This is the first time I'm saying this tonight. I'm sure I'm going to say it many, many times. But on Boss Man's note about Biden not being able to beat Trump, well, let me just remind you that not only did she lose, she lost in her home state in the most dramatic fashion to Joe Biden in the primary. In fact, she lost so bad that it kicked her out of the race. So if she couldn't beat Joe Biden, I'm not convinced that she can beat Donald Trump.
Oh, no,
And we'll get
no.
into it. We'll get into it later, but especially, I mean, if you want to do the most tone-deaf thing you could do, if you've raised $95 million in the last 24 hours, if the Democrats want to do the most tone-deaf thing possible, they will make Pete Buttigieg the vice presidential candidate. A gay man who was mayor of a tiny-ass town in Indiana, who had a hard enough time filling the potholes in that town when he was mayor. Easily the worst transportation secretary in the history of the United States. Look up the East Palestine train derailment. It took him 7 days to issue a statement on that, 14 days to even show up in East Palestine.
Reverend, this question's for you. I'm going to ask it to all three of you, but I'm going to start with Reverend. Reverend, who was the first president you ever voted for in your life? And was there a reason behind it, or was it just because he was Republican? We'll start with Reverend, and then I'm going to go around.
The first president I was old enough to vote for was in 2004, and that was
Okay.
Bush.
Bush Kerry.
Bush and Kerry.
Yeah.
And that was I.
I'm guessing Bush was your vote?
Yeah, Bush was my vote. I voted for Bush.
Oh, yeah.
I was, I was 18.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's why I'm
was
asking.
18.
What was your age? What was your thoughts?
I was 18. I was just old enough to vote. I turned 18 in January, and the election was in November. I was excited to get to vote. I was always raised, hey, you vote, and that's how you get your opinions out there, is you vote. I was always raised Republican. I didn't get a chance to finish because Barkley interrupted me. But yeah, that was I voted for Bush. I voted for McCain. I voted for who did Obama go against the first time?
John McCain.
Was it McCain? Was it McCain the second time too?
No, it was Mitt Romney the second time.
Mitt Romney the second time.
Mormon.
Yeah, I like I said, I've voted. I've been red, my entire life. Always been, I've always thought that, the Republicans were the party for, the little guy.
They would say that about the Democrats, you'd think. Now, Reverend, before I go to Barkley, let me ask you this real quick. When Joe Biden stepped down, is there anyone that you would put there, or you're just comfortable with taking Trump?
Put in place of
Biden. Is there somebody you'd say, you know what? I wish this guy would step in for Biden, and I might change my voting. Or is it just Trump all the way?
There's not too many Democrats that I'm in favor of. I mean, they're either woke liberals or they're corrupt, old guard, freaking corrupted corrupted capitalists. Which there's nothing wrong with capitalism, but you're going to have you either have your wackos like AOC or that fucking governor of California, or the ones who just absolutely go completely so far left that they're. I mean, the Democratic Party in the last 20 years has just gone completely insane.
Not even 20 years, 5 years. Shit, since the Obama campaigned and said on the campaign trail that he did not support gay marriage.
If you want to go ahead and Barkley and tell us who you voted for first, too, go ahead, and why.
So this is going to sound crazy, but
hello, Joy. Go ahead,
I didn't actually vote for a Republican in any presidential election until 2020. I voted for Barack twice, and I voted for Hillary.
You voted for Hillary over Trump?
Yeah.
Was there a reason?
At the time, I just wasn't really convinced that Donald Trump wanted to be president. I thought that he was trying to reinvigorate his brand, and I just didn't believe throughout the primary and the whole campaign that he really was about the work. And he started to change my mind.
I respect you saying that. I respect you coming out and saying you voted for Hillary, because that'd be hard to admit.
Yeah, and the first weekend that he was president, when he executed that travel ban, he started showing me that maybe he was serious. And then as the weeks progressed and the years progressed, I just looked at his literal work rate, the amount of judges that he was appointing. A lot of these vacancies that he was appointing judges to were left open by Obama's lazy ass. Obama was literally taking vacations every 2 months and going back to Chicago for his birthday and doing everything else except his executive duties. That's why all of these judges that President Trump appointed were available, because Obama didn't do the work, literally. Liberals are lazy. Democrats are lazy. They might be smart. I might even like some of them, but they are inherently lazy people.
Well said. Hey, boss man, are you there?
He's muted.
Great.
He's muted. He's there, but he's muted. Boss man,
No,
you're
I
muted.
know.
Put your pants on.
Boss man,
Okay.
the question was, who was the first president you voted for and why? And then I'm also going to start you off with the next one, too. So go ahead and say that one, and then I'm going to move on to Reverend. I got a nice good question.
Okay, well, the first time I ever voted, not as a legal age voter, was in first grade. we
come
the
on, Bosman. No,
no,
give
no,
us,
hang on,
give
hang
us
on.
the,
Let me
Boss man, we're not
explain
playing
it,
pretend
Barkley.
tonight. Let real vote. Real
Just a
vote.
second. Hold on. Let me explain because it leads to something. So
Okay, go ahead.
I voted for Gerald Ford in '76 as a first grader, and my family flipped out because they were all Democrats, and I said no, I'm a Republican. So I literally cried when he lost to Carter. But my first election that I was legally able to vote in was '88, and that was
Bush,
when
Reagan, Reagan.
Bush. No, Reagan was done, and it
Oh
was
yeah, you're right. Yeah, 88.
Bush against Dukakis, and thinking that I didn't know much about George Bush at the time. I thought he was a good man, and I voted for him. And it turns out he's one of the most evil men in our history.
Really?
So,
Why do you say that? Can you give us one example? I just want to know one.
he was head of the CIA, and he
Yeah,
was
that's pretty much all you need to know.
he was in Dallas the day that Kennedy got shot, and he claims he can't remember where he was. And there's many stories about him helping to assassinate JFK.
Wow.
Anyway, once I kind of learned about him when he ran against was Clinton and Ross Perot. I believe I just voted for Ross Perot or didn't vote at all for president. I just left it blank.
You see what I'm doing on the stream right now? This is
No.
what Ross Perot's nose
I'm
looks
driving.
like. This is Ross Perot's nose right here.
So then in the 2000 primaries, I voted for Alan Keyes, who was
God.
Reagan's ambassador. Great guy, awesome guy. I did hold my nose, and I voted for George W. Bush in 2000 and 2004. And then 2008.
What do you mean you held your
2000
nose? I thought you said his dad was a fucking.
Yeah, what do you
Well,
got
his
against,
dad is
Hitler?
evil, but I
what do you got
W
against
is not.
W?
Yeah, W is not. He just not the brightest bulb in the pack.
Now,
So,
George Bush Sr. passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
So
Who's the
in
new head of the CIA?
I don't know who the head of the CIA is right now.
I forget who it is now.
CIA director is William J. Burns.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, me neither. He's from.
So
he's from,
in hold on, Barkley. So in
Orleans,
2008, 2012, and 2016, I voted for the Libertarian candidates. I believe one time it was Bob Barr in 2008, and then Gary Johnson, 2012 and 2016, and in 2020, I did not vote for president.
I just want to add that Pesci thought it took balls for me to admit that I voted for Hillary, but Boss Man just admitted that he voted third party in like 5 fucking elections.
Which
That's
third party?
great.
What, the guy who's not going to win?
Yeah, like a
voting for-
libertarian or
like voting for basically like voting for McIntosh.
I know
or
people
Cohen.
that do that. He says like voting for McIntosh. All right, Reverend, I got one for you, Reverend.
Well,
and then we'll
this
let
is
you
what
do
I
your
say.
thing you want to say. What'd you say, boss man?
Hold on, Peggy. So when people like
Oh, go on.
Barkley say stuff like that, my response is I'm not at the horse track. I'm not trying to pick who I think's going to win. I'm voting my conscience. I'm voting for who I think would do the best job.
What up,
So,
Tolliver?
There you go.
Yeah, but Boss Man, my only rebuttal to that would be is that if you're not voting to win in an election, then what are you voting for, brother? Your conscience doesn't matter. The person that leads this country is not your conscience. It's a living human thing, and you can get stuck with someone
Okay,
like
so
Ronald Reagan.
everyone always says, well, you got to vote for the lesser of two evils. When you do that,
That's a
Barkley, you're
cliche.
still voting for evil. I'm not going to vote for evil.
Donald Trump is not the lesser of two evils, no matter who you run him against, and I'm still voting for him.
Well, my
Yeah,
vote
let
doesn't
me-
count in California, so
Reverend,
neither
you
does
there?
yours.
Sir, I'm here.
All right, Reverend.
Yeah.
After I have you guys answer these questions, I'll have Barkley. You can put you can tell people what you wanted to tell everyone, that little thing
Oh,
you
sure,
prepared
sure.
or whatever. But
Sure.
Reverend, give us 2 things while Joe Biden was president that you couldn't believe happened, and give us, if you can, 2 things that you liked what he did while he was president. So give us 2 of the what the fuck moments in your picture, in your mind, or whatever. No right or wrong answer. And give us 2 things you thought he did positive, if any.
The 2 what the fuck moments, the ridiculous 9% inflation that we had, that I can't say it was all his fault, but a lot of his damn shit that he messed up with was whenever he signed all these green acts in effect and took us off the darn oil exchange and all that shit, and fucking and was shutting down pipelines, making the gas prices go sky freaking high, and making it harder for people for them to deliver goods and services. He ruined the damn economy as far as that goes with his stupid green initiative that he put into place, and just um, there's that, and I think I mean, the housing market. So the housing market was a good thing for if you own a home. But if you're trying to buy a home, or if you're renting or something like that, it ruined your life almost, because it was fucking. You literally went from dollars a month to $1,800 a month within the span of a year. I mean, it was inflation went out of control, and the housing market went out of control. For the first time ever in our lifetime, a used car had a freaking had equity.
Yeah.
It was worth more than what it was when you purchased it. Like a car with 100,000 miles had equity.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that. Because I witnessed how the car market went when I was.
It just went insane, and he has completely let the uh, a lot of these corporations. He's let uh, a lot of the food markets, a lot of the drug markets, just go out of the wall, off the wall, insane. He's let freaking um, he's let the crazy liberals just run wild. They had that with, I believe it was under Biden, whenever that city in Seattle just took over, and for what was
Chop Chaz Chop.
like freaking 10, it was like a couple of miles there where it was a no man's land.
It was called Chop Chaz or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was during the Trump administration, though, Reverend. It was at the tail end. It was during the BLM stuff.
It was a lot of this shit happened in 2021. So a lot of because a lot of this shit started to rebound, and he didn't know, his administration didn't have any way to rebound. Anyway, so that's the thing I don't like about what he did. I guess if I had to say anything positive about it, the housing markets went up, so that's great. I got, my house is worth more than what it was, 5 years ago, double what it's worth. That's great. I mean, just
Adtan Tolliver says Biden has been a total disaster. BC said Kamala's #1 job as VP was being in charge of the border.
I'm gonna
We
get
then
into that.
had the worst border crisis in
I'm
the
up
history of
next.
America. She's a total failure.
Don't steal my thunder. Stealing my thunder. I'm up next, Fish.
but yeah, as far as any positives I could say is, the economy
Thank you,
didn't
Nicole.
completely crash. Stocks are okay. They went up a little bit. Which, and a lot of this, what I'm saying is it could have it would have probably happened under Trump as well, because obviously we went a whole 2 years of nothing, nothing, no going out, no people not buying anything, to we're free, we can go out, the world's open back up, and let's just flood the fucking market. And the world and we prepared for what was going to happen. I don't think Trump would have been prepared. I think it was just something that it was a freak thing that the world has never seen before. We have not in our lifetimes been through a pandemic. And
you said you wanted to go next, boss man?
Yeah.
All right, we'll have you go next, Barkley, and then you could also do that thing you wanted to tell everybody or whatever after you give your.
All right. So the two.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's
No,
what
he
I
just
said.
said, yeah, that's what he meant. So the two worst things that Biden did was
What up,
opening
Rafe?
the border.
Sorry, boss man. Shout out to Rafe and shout out to Mark Rebel Games.
These people that are coming across are unvetted. They're told to come back in 4 or 5 years for their court date for asylum. They're not going to show up. So he's a total failure on the border, and that was Kamala's job. The
Now,
borders
boss
are,
man, is that one of your? When I said give two of your, what the fucks? That's the
that's
first
one of the worst.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the second
Yeah.
one? And then give us the two things that you like what he did, if any. Hello, Ashley.
Let's see. Man, I had it tip my tongue. Let's switch to what he did good. Now, people will say, "Oh, the stock market is doing good," and I'll admit that it's doing very good. It's practically doubled. But my argument is, presidents don't make economies. Economies make presidents. If the economy's doing well, the president gets all the credit, and they don't really do anything that makes the economy go. It kind of runs itself. So, yeah,
President Trump would disagree, by the way.
Wow. Yeah,
And the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
You got to give us two of them, boss man, on both sides if you can.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay.
I know
Trying.
what the second.
Well,
I couldn't think what I was.
What the fuck
gonna say.
moment should be easy. That should be easy.
My other WTF was leaving Afghanistan the way he did.
I just said that. Yep. Pulling out of Afghanistan.
Yeah, leaving all of our
All
equipment
of our
there
weapons.
for them.
Yeah.
I mean, to see that guy from the Taliban driving the helicopter around on the tarmac. You should have put bombs and all that stuff and blown it up. And yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything good that he's done other than the economy. So
I want. Can I add
Oh,
one?
I figured that what did he do good would be hard. Pablo! Motherfucker!
Can I add one quick before he goes, and you guys can expand it on this one? Freaking, we had no business whatsoever at doing any damn thing at all with the fucking Ukraine. That was the biggest load of horse shit, and we should not have. We sent fucking, what was it, $50 billion that they pissed away. They didn't even do a damn thing with.
Let me just
It was-
say this.
Money grab. And the military has been absolutely atrocious under the damn Biden administration. We are losing, like, literally. How do you lose $50 billion and not have a clue where it is?
Listen to this now. Vladimir Putin took land in the Ukraine when George W. Bush was president. He took land in the Ukraine when Barack Obama was president. And he took land in the Ukraine when Joe Biden was president. I just named 3 presidents almost consecutively. Whose name did I leave out?
Well, it didn't
Donald
take
Trump.
anybody-
Donald
President.
Trump. They took land. Putin took land in the Ukraine when Bush was president, when Obama was president,
What
and when
land was
Biden.
that? What land?
Crimea.
The Crimea was Obama.
I can't remember which land he took when Bush was president. You'd have to Google it, but I know he did.
I don't think he did.
He did. I promise.
Barkley,
way.
go ahead and give your two what the fuck moments with Joe
Yeah.
Biden while he was president, and two positive things if you could think of them.
Can I just do what I was gonna do?
Yeah, you don't want to say those ones?
Well, that's part
Right?
of it.
Is it integrated? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was just, basically,
Go for it. Go.
I was telling Pesci before we went live. I said I think Biden's decision not to seek re-election is really a tacit admission of what we've all known all along, is that his presidency has been a failure on every front. I wouldn't be able to name two good things that he did as president because I don't think he did two good things as president. As Reverend and BC and Bossman have already said, the border crisis is one thing, but I could give you five, okay? The economic mismanagement, which Reverend was talking about, since Biden's been president, we've seen record inflation, and that's eaten away at every fucking paycheck in the country. Okay, and he continues to spend recklessly, and go Google what our national debt is. It's at unprecedented levels now. Okay, his administration's, if you could say, lax border policies have resulted in a surge of immigration. We're running out of resources. It's compromising our national security.
But Barkley, the debt's been at unprecedented levels for many years.
Yeah, okay, but let's, when you talk about abroad, if you listen to people like Bolin, you'll hear like, oh, the rest of the world laughs at us. But when I talk to Australians and Britons and Germans and Japanese and Chinese and all these other people from across the Atlantic, when Bush was president, most of them were saying, wow, there's finally an American president with a fucking spine. They didn't have any problem with him. Biden's foreign policy, I mean, the withdrawal from Afghanistan, projecting weakness on the world stage, his foreign policy has stained every relationship with every ally nation we have. Literally stained it, okay? Energy dependence. When Trump was president, the United States was energy independent. What does Biden do his first month in office? He cancels the Keystone XL, which is basically cutting our domestic energy production by like 75%. Guess who absorbs the cost of that? Americans. Okay? And then we could get into the cultural division that he's, instead of uniting the country as he said he was going to do in that first video. When I saw Donald at Charlottesville, I knew I had to run. Bro, all he's done is push his fucking far left agenda and deepen the divides more.
Wraith says Biden is a weak leader. Weak men create harsh times. Says good old Wraith, not Wraith Realm, for the record. This is a friend of mine, Wraith, from another group.
He's right.
But shout out to good Wraith. Mario Kart. We play a lot of Mario Kart, Wraith. You'll have to come play with us. But go on, Barkley. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Instead of telling you two good things that Biden did, I'm going to tell you what the next president needs to be focused on, okay? Reining in government spending, securing the borders, enforcing immigration law, projecting strength. Right now, America looks like the biggest pussy in the world, okay? America first is our foreign policy. Get that Keystone XL fired back up so we can ensure energy independence and start enforcing the goddamn Constitution. And that's Donald Trump.
I'll give you my two what the fucks, and they're real quick, and then you can finish off what you're saying. Because I don't know anything positive he did, because I don't know much about politics, but I have seen clips of what the fuck moments. But my two what the fuck moments would have to be trading a gun dealer for a pot smoker would have to be fucking number one, and it makes sense. You could put aside all the fucking videos that they have him fucking saying crazy shit or slurring his words. I mean, if he wasn't running the country, I could see why he was slurring his words, because they were always probably trying to tell him shit in his ear to say, and he just probably wasn't good at that. And I would say the trading the gun dealer for the pot smoker, and the other what the fuck moment was when he went onto the Breakfast Club, which is ran by Charlemagne the God, and he told black people, if you don't vote for him, you are not black. And those are, you know, Trump might have some shit under his belt, but if you went asked, I don't know, but I bet you if you ask black dudes what shit's more fucked up, that comment, and can you name something Trump said that's worse, Biden might win that.
Or when he said that Trump was going to put y'all back in chains.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Even more fucked up.
He's going to put y'all back in chains.
I didn't even know he said that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before we move on, Barkley, I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe you do. That's why I'm asking. The liberals claim that we're producing more oil today than we ever have.
It's not. Yeah, Bolin says that on every show. It's not true.
Okay, I didn't know.
Wait a minute, boss man. We got a comment in real quick. Let me read this just to get caught up. I hope Kamala runs against Trump so he can wipe the floor with her in the debates and polls. She needs to be exposed for the fraud that she is.
Well, unfortunately, Donald Trump announced today that he will not debate Kamala Harris.
What does that mean? Why did he say that?
He just probably because it's too late in the season. I don't know. He didn't really explain why. He just said he's not interested in debating her.
Reverend, did you have anything?
She would do well.
Go on, boss man.
Really, boss man? She literally got murdered by Nikki Haley. You think she can handle Donald Trump? I don't.
What?
Nikki Haley ended her campaign.
Kamala's
brother.
not black, according to Judge Joe Brown, and I'm not just saying that to be a smart ass.
Tulsi Gabbard?
Tulsi Gabbard. I'm sorry, not Nikki Haley. Tulsi Gabbard ended her campaign, and you like Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Because Pesci didn't ask me that question, but he's, is there a Democrat I would vote for? Yes, one. And
My
she's
bad.
really
I
a
should have told
former.
you just to say that. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, she's a former Democrat. She's an independent now. And that's Tulsi Gabbard. I would totally vote for her. And I didn't say Cory Booker. I said Tulsi Gabbard. Oh.
BC says that Eric Holder is part of the committee to pick the VP, and he
Yes,
will pick Cory
Judge
Booker.
Joe Brown, and I'm going to actually get the clip eventually because it's funny to play on stream. Kwame Brown did an interview with Judge Joe Brown on YouTube. And Judge Joe Brown basically said, Kamala Harris, I'm going to put this in dummy words because I don't remember what he said word for word. He said, Kamala Harris isn't a Democrat or a Republican. She will pick the spot where she could get the highest in. And she's known for screwing to get to the top. Those are Judge Joe Brown's words. And if you look at that man's eyes, he wasn't laughing. He looked serious as a heart attack. You could tell when a guy was being serious. He wasn't like, hey, she's out there fucking everyone. This guy with a straight face said, she's not Republican, she's not Democrat. She will be what she has to be to get to high spots.
There were people on Twitter. There were people on Twitter today tweeting Judge Joe Brown was right.
Now, Reverend.
So, Frank asked a good question.
Okay.
He says, so is Kamala black or Indian?
I
She's
said that. She's
Indian
not black.
and she's Indian and Jamaican.
Jamaicans are not black.
I'm just
Jamaican
telling you what
man.
she is.
They're literally
Reverend,
They're literally European. Jamaicans are.
Reverend, do you have any questions that you want to ask Bossman or Barkley or hear their thoughts on through any of this?
No, I do want to say something about Kamala.
Go ahead. That's what I said. Reverend, floor's yours.
So, my thought, I think it's very provable, and she's got a damn track record where she's about as much of a corporate shill as you could possibly be. She will take money from anyone who offers it to her. She's the kind, like, she is literally the kind of politician that gets into politics just to make money. I mean, I believe that if she
Yeah,
were
the poll
elected,
is not working, Pesci.
Oh, you know what? I didn't make that a poll. I just said should Trump be president, but I'll
it's
make
a
it a
pin.
poll.
It's
I'll
a pin
change it.
comment.
I'll change
I
it.
believe she won.
Wonder how many
That-
times Poochie's going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, I think if she won, that it would be. Oh man, I think that the damn corporations would have so much more control than what they already do. There'd be a lot of There'd be a lot more lax, restrictions on big pharma, raising corporate prices and stuff like that. Because, like I said, she's just willing to take a check, and she has a track record, her and her husband, of just taking. Just being corrupt, and I mean she's not like she doesn't have a her stand, and like if you ever listen to her speeches, they are so melodrama rehearsed. I mean, she has the cheesiest catchphrases. Like she,
No,
Poll question is up,
they're all
fellas.
over the place. She makes no sense.
I thought Elizabeth Warren was the most disingenuous politician I'd ever seen in my life.
Ray said
And
her
Kamala-
political stance is as fake as her laugh. Sean Smith said
Kamala Harris
Boss
puts her to
Man is
shame.
voting for Kamala, and he said Pesci is Jamaican. The Kamala
Boss
cackle. I do
Fine.
think Kamala Harris is very attractive. I don't know anything about her being a president, but I did like that picture of her in a bathing suit with Montel Jordan. I enjoyed that. Mark Rebel Games says yes, Trump should be president. Mark Rebel Games, very close friend of the show, been around a long time. Boss Man, did you have something you wanted to say, or Barkley?
Should we
Did I,
talk about who the presumptive or the consensus favorite is for the VP right now, boss man? Buttigieg.
I'll
I
wait
don't
till
know
you
if he
guys are
is or
done
not.
saying whatever. I got a couple more questions.
Social media is ablaze today. I mean, Twitter's on fire with. They're already making lawn signs. Harris Buttigieg. I think they're already selling T-shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw a thing today. It was a gay person, and he had a thing on the back window. It said "F Democrats." I'm gay, but not an idiot.
Now,
But
let me
no,
ask you this.
Pesci,
Why is Joe Biden not the president right now? I thought your term has to end. Why did he?
No, he is.
He's
the
still president. He's still president.
Oh, I thought they were saying Kamala's technically president right now. I'm like,
No.
oh, so we've had our first female president then.
No.
Okay.
No, he's just not going to run for re-election. So he's going to leave
Well,
office.
for the people watching out there, I have never voted. Couldn't tell you how to do it. Couldn't tell you where to register. And they do let felons vote up here. So it was never because I was a felon. I just never cared. The president never altered my salary ever. I could go into details about that on another show. But fucking, I've never been worried about the man upstairs or Uncle Sam. Those were never two guys I ever knew. So that's why I never voted. I mean, if you told me to vote for guy A and I'd make 50 more thousand, then maybe I would take my ass out of my house and go up to the nearest place that you would place a vote and vote.
Well, and Pesci, as far as
And Pesci
for
knows.
me, I used to vote. I used to be very heavily into politics, and you guys, anyone that doesn't believe in God can laugh or whatever, but God got a hold of me one day and was like, dude, this is all worldly stuff. You don't need to be involved in this. So I no longer vote because of that. I'm just setting it out from now on. And I don't think Christians should be involved in politics like they are.
All right, I got one for all three of you.
While he's
We'll start
living
with
in a
Barkley on this one.
Judeo-Christian society, by the way, just making that clear.
You ready, Barkley? We'll start with
I'm ready.
you on this one.
Okay, all right.
Name. Okay, it's going to be 2 questions. Name the greatest thing you thought Trump did while he was president, and give me your top 3 worst presidents of all time, and kind of why. Give us maybe a reason why. So we'll
Okay.
start with you on that one. The greatest thing, we'll go in a circle on this one. Greatest thing Trump did, in your opinion, no right or wrong here, and top 3 worst presidents of all time, and maybe why.
Okay, best thing Trump did as president was moving the embassy to Jerusalem, in my opinion.
What's the embassy,
And-
for the record?
The United States Embassy in Israel.
Because when I think embassy, I think of AEW, fucking Swerve's old group. Remember he
Yeah.
had the embassy, you know. So
No, the United States Foreign Embassy in Israel. It used to be in Tel Aviv, and there's every president of my life basically said they would consider moving to Jerusalem, which is like the holy city.
hello, Ann.
And Trump was the one that actually did it. That for me, I mean, Bossman and Reverend might think that there probably are greater things that Trump did, but for me, I just thought that was the one that resonated with me the most.
No, I thought it was great that he did that.
Worst presidents of all time, top 3. Is that what you said?
Yeah, top 3 worst presidents in your opinion, and we'll go to Reverend next.
Okay. Andrew Johnson.
And make sure they're presidents too. This was Andrew Johnson was a president. I never even remember that guy.
He was in 1865.
Okay.
Yeah. He was they tried to impeach him. He was pretty racist. I'd say Andrew Johnson, probably Jimmy Carter, and Barack Obama.
Okay. What was the worst thing you hated about Barack? Worst thing Barack did while he was president, because it's kind of more fresh than Jimmy Carter.
He was just the most divisive president that I've ever seen, and he campaigned on the idea of unification, kind of like Biden did. But the thing is like Obama really cast a spell on me because I believed that shit, and
What
he
up,
just turned out to be the most divisive president ever. I mean, what was that shit with the Dallas cops, boss man? Remember that?
Yeah.
He got him killed. Like
All right,
4 of them.
Reverend, you're up. Greatest thing Trump did while he was president in your mind, and give me your top 3 worst presidents.
Greatest thing Trump did.
No right or
gee.
wrong.
He cut a lot of regulations, and he made he give us the first economy in a while. I can't even think how far back it was, where we had a 20% return on the stock market for like, what was it, 3, 4, like 3 years straight. Like, that was great.
Yeah, I know Bossman said earlier that the president doesn't really control the economy, but I don't even think Bossman would disagree that some of the executive decisions that Trump made business-wise, the way he was kind of like playing puppet master a little bit with the economy, really gave him I mean, his economy went from all right to incredible.
Well,
like
I mean, there's
in
parts
2
of the
years.
economy. There's parts of the economy they can manipulate, but
Well,
the
that
overall economy.
tax cut, that corporate tax cut that he made created what, like 3 million new jobs. Okay.
All right, you're done. It's Rev's.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Rev.
Sorry, Rev.
So I think one of overall the biggest thing that I think Trump did is he made America look, strong again. I really do believe he helped make America great. I mean, he made America look great. I mean, Obama had he had shown so much weakness, in just the way, I don't believe, and I don't want to go into a tangent, but I don't believe for a damn second that he fucking killed Osama bin Laden. I think bin Laden had been dead for a long time.
Yeah, he died in a sea many
If he
years
had-
ago.
There's no picture. No, we killed him. We secretly moved him out and we buried him at sea. Really, there's no proof. You just gotta believe what we say. Yes, we can. No, you can't. That's what I tell them.
No, you can't.
Trump made us look. Trump made us look strong. Trump made us look good.
Hey, Reverend, let
And
me ask you a question real quick. How many new wars were started during the Trump administration?
no,
Right, Barkley, you're stealing my thunder here, man.
Oh, and how many presidents has that
You,
happened?
you
for?
already went. You already
Hold
went.
on, Barkley. Let fucking go in a circle.
anyway,
Reverend,
so,
give us your 3 worst presidents after you're done with your Trump thing. And real quick, we have breaking
you know-
news. Harris campaign raises $81 million in first 24 hours.
I already said that.
3 worst presidents. Oh Lord, Calvin Coolidge.
Hey, make sure this guy's really a president, Reverend.
I mean, not Calvin Coolidge. Yeah, fucking Herbert Hoover.
Reverend,
Fucking-
Herbert Hoover was not a president.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he
Oh, okay.
was.
I'm
Yes,
just
he
making
was.
sure. All right, I'm just making sure.
He was the one who put inflation.
Dude, I don't know much, so yeah, I'll take your word for it. All right, Hoover. What was the third?
Damn.
And
Oh,
Hoover,
geez.
see, Rev gave a good example. So Hoover, because of the Great Depression.
He put us in the Great Depression.
All right,
Fucking
fair.
He's right. He's right.
Probably one of the
highly
smartest things I've
debatable.
heard all night.
Okay, one more,
And-
Reverend. You gave 2. Give us one more.
And damn, shit. Man, I don't want to say Obama because I don't hate Obama as much as the rest of everybody else does. 'Cause
Yeah, I don't hate
think-
Obama.
I don't hate him. I just don't think he was a good president.
It didn't really affect me that much. Shit. Probably. I would say Clinton the second time, just because of the whole, fucking.
Wow. Over Jimmy Carter, huh?
What did Carter do though? Carter freaking.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Carter had
70
stagflation.
The 70s were almost as bad as the Great Depression, bro. Have you seen the cars? I mean, everything about the 70s was awful. The cars.
The Iran.
The cars are still expensive in this. That if you can find cars in the 70s, they still hold their value though.
They're just those were.
Well,
the
now they're
That's prob-
collectibles. That's-
No, but I'm saying that's probably why though. You said that they were more expensive in the 70s. Cars are generally nice models in the 70s are more than some that were in the 60s.
Well, I mean, the 70s is pretty much universally observed as the worst decade for the domestic automakers, anyway. Like,
And
look at
look,
for example,
Mark,
go pull up.
what was that?
Go pull
What
up
was
a
that?
78 Camaro and just it literally looks like a piece of shit. Literally.
So my favorite.
Markley, what was that? Hold on, real quick. What was that term they gave for Carter? Not stagflation, but
I thought it was stagflation.
maybe. But there was something like I'll think of it. Anyway, go ahead.
I just remember Reagan's quote. He says, "Depression is when, or recession is when your neighbor loses his job. Depression is when you lose your job, and rebuilding is when Jimmy Carter loses his."
I believe you're up, boss man. You're up. You're up.
I think. No, let me think. I think. I guess fine. Jimmy Carter was my third worst president. My favorite was Andrew.
Hell yeah!
Jackson.
Hell yeah!
Whoops.
Your favorite one's who?
My favorite one's Andrew Jackson.
Hit the music, Benji.
His favorite one's Andrew James. I love it.
He always carries toys on him.
Hey, that's awesome, man. That's
He was a
great.
badass. He was a fucking legit badass, man.
So was Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh,
Teddy Roosevelt.
How many
Think
times
about
Teddy
this.
Roosevelt shot?
When Teddy Roosevelt was president, he would literally disappear for months at a time out on safari or out at one of the national parks. He'd just take off and go hiking for like 2 months while he was president. Could you
I know
imagine?
what it was, Barkley. Is that when they termed the misery index?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The misery index.
Jackson got 4 times dueling with people who pissed him off. That motherfucker he was legit, man. He might have had some different viewpoints.
All
Hey,
right,
wait
I'm
a
ready.
minute. We got BC says, okay, let me read 2 comments real quick, guys. That is, Frank says, that is just them showing you how good of a move it was for Joe to step aside. BC said, if you don't hate Obama, you don't know the shit he did to this country and he is still doing. Interesting. Good to know BC knows a lot about politics. That's how I knew he wasn't a young dude. Remember when people thought BC was like this 22-year-old kid running around there? I was like, nah, there's a couple of guys messing around.
BC has definitely got
But,
like
Boss Man, you're up though, brother.
he's definitely got the news alerts on all the apps.
Remember, the greatest thing Trump did in his 4 or 8, no, he did 4. His 4 years, and then give us your top worst presidents, and if you want to say why, go ahead.
All right. So the Trump. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you say 3 things that Trump did?
No. If you want to say a couple, go ahead. I just said
okay,
name
okay.
what the best thing he did, in your opinion, while he was president. And you know what, Buzzman, if you want, I'll put this spin on it. Instead of saying a couple things, say the worst thing he did, in your opinion, and the best thing he did. And then give me your 3 worst presidents.
All right. So the worst thing I thought he did was sending the Moab over to bomb Syria. I thought we had no business doing that. There was absolutely no evidence that Assad was gassing his own people. It's all propaganda. I thought that was a huge mistake to bomb them the way he did.
I thought he used Moab in Afghanistan.
No, the Moab was Syria. I did like the fact that there were no new wars started. I thought that was something that had, like Barkley said, that hadn't been done in a long time. And then he, to touch on what Rev said, he went to world leaders and just told them, we're not going to do the same old thing. The U.S. is back. We're going to call the shots here.
He went to NATO and he said, "You motherfuckers are going to start paying."
Yeah.
Or we ain't gonna pay. Or we ain't gonna pay.
And then he gave. I got the biggest tax cut ever under Trump. So I think that was a great thing, giving me.
Billionaire, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, giving me the best tax cut I'd ever had. And then worst presidents. I mean, you have to say Hoover because of what happened with the Depression. There's some economists that say Roosevelt extended the Depression because of his policies. That had he just been hands off, it would have been a lot better. But I don't know. John Tyler was a horrible president just because he defended slavery. He did not want to abolish slavery. And then Jimmy Carter.
Hell yeah, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Why does everybody hate Jimmy Carter again?
Because he
What did
sucked.
Pesci, in the 70s, my parents, to get gas, they had to, like, if their license plate started with an even number, they could go on certain days, and if your license plate started with an odd number, you could go the other days. There was shortages. The prices for back then were sky high. If it got near $1 in the 70s, man, that was a lot of money back then because people weren't making what was minimum wage, like $2 an hour. It was crazy. But and then when the students were taken hostage in Iran, that was a huge deal, Pesci. I mean, America felt like we had been defeated. And
How did they get these people? How did they get them?
They stormed the embassy and took them hostage. I forget how many days they were there. If someone could help me. It seemed like it was.
They made a movie about it, didn't they?
I'm sure they did. Yeah. And then once Reagan was elected, they just said, okay, we're gonna let them go because they knew Reagan wasn't gonna put up with it. Where everything Carter tried failed. As
So
far
Carter
as
was right
the
before
hostages.
Reagan.
Yeah. And you also have to remember
Reagan kicked the shit out of him. What did he win? Like 48 states?
the only thing that Reagan well, when Reagan ran against Mondale, he lost Minnesota and Washington D.C. and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, Reagan won. I think Reagan probably has to be up there with the most electoral votes of all time.
Oh yeah.
He's probably he's like the MJ of the Electoral College.
Yeah.
Join it.
One of the greatest presidents.
Yeah, you're not lying. But that's one of the things that I like. It's one of the things that I like about Trump, and maybe I'm sure Bossman's picked up on it. But back when Trump was president the first time, if you looked in his Oval Office, you would have noticed a very particular cream carpet on the floor in the Oval Office, and it was in fact the same carpet that Ronald Reagan used in his Oval Office. Apparently, Trump is a huge Reagan fanatic, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe that's who he takes direction from, you know, inspirationally or whatever.
Was Reagan a better actor than he was president?
No, he was a B actor.
Yeah, he was a B actor. But he was also governor of California, Pesci.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. Him and Arnold.
And he ran for.
Why isn't Arnold
president.
ran for president?
Well, he
He's not
wasn't
allowed
born. Yeah, he wasn't born in the United States, so he's not allowed to. You have to be in.
Well, I'm shocked that's actually a policy the United States stands by.
It's in the Constitution. There's nothing they can do about it.
You wouldn't want an enemy of the state to come over.
You
and
know
run for president.
what Eric Roman told me once in Israel was he was in Israel, and one thing they would make fun of the Americans for was when Obama got elected. They're like funny that they're like talk about America. America will give you all the chances in the world. Basically they were calling Obama a Muslim, and they were referring to 9/11. They're like, look at America. They let a Muslim run their country after.
Well, he is a Muslim. He's a closet Muslim.
Well, I'm just saying that was what Roman said. He'd hear people in Israel when they would crack on the United States. That was like an ongoing joke. Obama was a Muslim, and they'd be like, America will let anybody run their country.
Yeah,
when
he was being interviewed,
you know the good we do over here, and you want to support an 84-time rapist and 34-time convicted felon and a racist homophobe shitbag. Well, I'm done with you.
when Obama was being interviewed by George Stephanopoulos, he said, John McCain has not criticized my Muslim faith. And Stephanopoulos said, you mean your Christian faith? He goes, oh, yeah, my Christian faith. And Hillary Clinton's the one that leaked the pictures of him dressed up in the Muslim garb.
Hello.
You okay, Reverend?
No, I'm here. I'm waiting for boss
If you gotta go, go ahead and say what you gotta say. If you gotta
Yeah,
go
go
to
ahead, Bob.
sleep,
Go
you
ahead,
go to
Rev.
sleep.
Yeah, go ahead, Rev.
Boss man's getting ready to start talking about the birth certificate, and I just got.
Go ahead, Rev. No, go ahead.
It's Kenya.
Who leaked the pictures of the two Clintons in blackface when they were wearing the damn fucking Al Jolson shit or whatever?
Jeez, that's crazy.
You know who leaked those pictures?
Wait a
Who
minute,
did?
let me get caught up on these comments real quick. Frank said that is why there were so many people calling into question Obama's birth certificate. Bam. Sean Smith said the Canadian government got the hostages out of Iran under ruse making a movie.
Under the ruse of making a movie. That's kind of like what Argo was. Argo was the same kind of idea as that.
And Tolliver says Republicans didn't work with Obama.
No, that's actually that's a myth. They tried. He wanted some really ridiculous, unconstitutional bullshit, you know? Like, for example, student loan forgiveness. I mean, this is literal welfare for the 1%, you know? 2/3 of this country never goes to college. Now you're gonna ask for people like Reverend and Boss Man to pay for some cunt who went to Yale and can't figure their life out? I can't get on board with that. I'm sorry. And it's unconstitutional. The Supreme Court said so.
Rev, before you say anything, Pesci, the latest poll out is Trump 49%, Harris 47%. Go ahead, Rev.
I can't believe it's that close.
That's a bullshit poll. Remember what the poll said in
Well,
2016?
Is that like a
Well,
Snowman
Pesci-
poll where they fucking
Pesci, there-
botted it and shit?
Pesci, there's more Democrats than Republicans in the country, so that's
No, I know.
always going to be very close.
No, I heard that because Kevin Nash is a Democrat.
Where's the poll at?
It's
No,
up there.
look on Drudge report.
Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. 12% say no. Say something in the chat. Whoever voted no.
So what do you want to
Biden.
see happen out of all this, Reverend? What do you want to see happen? What does America need? In Reverend Robbins's, let's hear what Rev's got to say here. In Reverend Robbins's eyes, what does America need right now? Marshall Haynes says it's a bullshit poll. What up, Marshall?
Americans,
He doesn't even know what to say.
swift kick in the ass.
Give him a chance. Give him a chance. We're gonna go around on this question.
I already said mine.
America
got you.
needs a kick in the ass. America needs somebody to come in and say, you know what? Stop all this bullshit. Stop the race baiting. Stop the dividing. Stop catering to the 1% of fucking. Just stop. Stop doing all your stupid bullshit. The fucking, the Democrats, the Democratic Party in the last 5 years has just gone completely batshit insane because you have just a bunch of fucking adolescent millennials who grew up not being told no. And they cannot understand or cope with the fact that the world does not go the way they want it to go. And we need a good president or a good Congress or whoever to go in there and say, you know what, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Put your big boy pants on. Put your big girl pants on. Go out there and make something, okay? Stop sitting here and playing the victim card. Everybody wants to be a damn victim. You know what? We need a hero. We don't need a damn victim. We need somebody to come in and say, you know what? We're not going to sit here on our asses and cry anymore. We're going to get shit done. We're going to make this damn country the way it used to be. Back when Mama, I don't want
Uh-oh,
I'm not
uh-oh.
talking about
No,
Mima.
Get the music ready.
Well, go ahead, Rev. Go ahead.
talking bad about anything like that, but I'm going to tell you something. 50 years ago, there was a lot of different opinions at that time. People thought a different way or whatever, but damn it, we were a strong country. We were a stable country. We were a country full of people who said, you know what? I'm proud to be an American, damn it. I'm proud, and I will go out and I will fight to defend this land that I love. You know what? I wouldn't want to fucking fight for some of these bullshits people that we have out here. I don't understand how people, I'm all about supporting my troops. But like fucking, I can't see how if I were a soldier, I would want to sit there and fight and defend some pink-haired ninny who's going to sit there and talk about I'm a transsexual cat. Shut the fuck up.
Hold on, let me get caught up on two comments real quick.
That's hate
BC
speech.
says America needs a leader that cares about America and will protect us. We need someone America
Fight.
first.
Fight.
Stop the
Fight.
reckless spending and spending billions to Ukraine.
Exactly. I said the same thing. America first is our foreign policy. Like I said, like Boss Man said, when Trump got elected and he showed up to that first fucking NATO conference, they found out that the rules were changing. And the rules changed like that. Trump was the first president, and anyone who's watching this show or on this call in any of our lives that literally, you know, went to work, rolled his sleeves up. He didn't just bury himself at the fucking Resolute desk and wait for people to come to him like Obama did. Obama's biggest problem was he had his head so far up his own ass that he wasn't going to leave the Oval Office. Everybody needed to come to him from the Hill. He wasn't, it's just.
He's got a fake Harvard diploma behind him. I just noticed that. What's that Harvard University thing behind you?
That's my master's degree in public policy. Remember when I told you I had my credentials behind me?
Oh, that's real?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was like one of those things you buy like at Harvard in the gift shop.
No, it's from the Kennedy School, brother.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's something to be proud of. Still
That's
working
from-
on the artwork, says splitting the sauce. So today, just so you guys know what splitting the sauce is, me and Rev Sauce are going to be doing a show here and there. I thought it was going to be called spilling the sauce, but I guess it's splitting the sauce. And Schmidt gave us the idea for the name. Shout out to Schmidt. And it's going to be like a here and there wrestling show we do. So shout out to Rev Sauce.
Announcement.
Okay.
CM Punk has been medically cleared for in-ring competition, but
Start September the 8th, which is Saturday, or which is a Sunday. I am proud to announce I will have all the equipment, and I will have, I believe, Cooking with Rev coming back soon.
Nice.
I know people are asking about with Rev.
I thought you were gonna say you got your Terminex truck or something. Can you understand what he's saying?
Yeah, I can. He also, I would say, Rev, for Christmas this year, get a webcam for your computer so you can sit at a computer when you do certain streams.
Okay. Now I want to get one of those GoPros, so whenever I'm doing Cooking with Rev, I can have it just ready to go.
Yeah.
We can figure it out. I'm gonna get everything cooking. I'm getting the signed copy of Paula Dean's cookbook. We're gonna have to start cooking with Dean.
Oh my god.
My dream show is coming.
It's gonna be great, baby.
I said if we could get a cooking show going, ask everybody. A couple years back, I said, problem is Rome's schedule is never good enough, and Schmidt never wanted to get a camera. But if we could have got a cooking show going, people will come to watch people cook. You watch.
Cooking with Rev's coming back. As soon as I get this, I'm going to be using some Paul Dean recipes. I'm going to start cooking. I'm going to try to make some Mammy's peach cobbler. I'm going to try to make some cornbread. I'm going to be making all this good stuff. We're going to do it.
Well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go 12 more minutes, and then we'll end this. So we got to think of something to talk about for 12 minutes on the closing thing. Now, Boss Man, did you wanna? What was this question I asked Rev?
Well, I mean, I think maybe we should just discuss what we want the next president to do, regardless of who it is.
All right. Well, you could start. We got 12 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll end at an hour and a half. That means we got an hour and a half in.
I would love to see the next president crack down on the border, a serious crackdown where you're vetting these people. If they're criminals, they can't come in. And we need to round up the ones that came in that are hardened criminals. I understand people wanting to come here for a better life. And regardless of what anyone wants to say, we need the illegal immigrants out in the fields. No, you or I aren't going to go out there breaking our back picking vegetables and fruits. I mean, as bad as that sounds, it's it's true. You know, no one else is going to do that job. And they're very hard. Most of them are hard workers, very hard workers, and they just want to better themselves. So I have a mixed emotion when it comes to people crossing the border. I totally understand it. Is it wrong? Are they breaking the law? Yeah, but I get it. You know, I totally understand it. We need to have some compassion for those people, but there has to be a time where we say enough is enough. You can't just let everyone in. So I would like to see that. I would like to see.
Spilling.
I would like
Spilling
to
the
see
sauce,
us.
I thought.
Okay.
Sorry, Bob.
I would like to see us. I would like to see us disengage with Ukraine, which is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. There's sex trafficking, the biggest producer of CP in the world, arms dealings, illegal arms, all kind of stuff goes on in Ukraine. We
Lots
don't
of
need to be
Nazis.
defending
Lots
them.
of-
Oh, Nazis, yeah, a lot of Nazis in Odessa. Yeah. Putin's right when he said they have a Nazi problem.
Mhm.
Those are just my top three. So go ahead, Ref.
Oh, I think the future. I think the new president. It's not going to be Harris. I think Trump's first fucking 48 hours in office, he should send 10,000 of our best and brightest fucking Navy SEALs, fucking our top fucking commando Delta Force. Send somebody out there, send them right to fucking Palestine to wipe Hamas off the fucking planet. Leave not one shred of that goddamn terrorist organization. Take them all out. Every single solitary one of them. If you wave a flag, that's it. I mean, it just completely obliterate the terrorism that is there. And if Iran wants to get in the way, well, hey, we got plenty of bombs we could drop on them. We've been waiting for that shit.
I like the way Rev is talking, man.
Huh?
I said I like the way you're talking.
No, I mean, I think that Hamas is a literal terrorist organization that has already threatened the U.S. over the last many, many years. Anyway, their leaders already talked about he wants to, like, after they wipe out Israel, they're going to come for the West, and we have absolute stupid lunatics who are up here supporting terrorism, like, oh yeah, Hamas from the river to the sea. What does that mean? You don't even know what the hell that means. That means they want to wipe out all Jews. That means they want to wipe that. They don't want any Jews in Israel. That's what they want. They want all of them gone. And they're a terrorist organization. They're a bunch of absolute psychopaths. I mean, I've seen this horrible fucking stupidity. Queers for Palestine. Do you have any idea? Like, and I would pay to send them over there, just so they could see, because the joke about that whole thing is, you know, like people say it's like chickens for Colonel Sanders, but the joke with that thing is there's not enough tall buildings in Palestine for them to throw all the gays off of, because that's what they're going to do. They have no idea. Women have no rights under Hamas. Like, they'll stone these women to death. It is literally, it's insanity. It is insanity that we have a government that is just allowing these lunatics to still be in existence. Like Obama, like what is that damn thing Obama was doing with Iran? Don't. Who are you talking to?
We're in
Obama made it possible for
Herman,
them to
we're in
get
a
nuked.
private room for the political show. If you want to come in, it's about politics. If not, you can meet us in the other room. We'll be in there in a few minutes.
That's what the president should be doing in the first 48 hours of office. Go wipe out Hamas. If Iran wants to get involved, good luck to you, brother. You ain't got time for this. The second thing they need to do is they need to pull out all support for Ukraine. And if it
Hello,
were
RA.
me, if I were president, I would pull out all support for Ukraine. I would dare NATO to say to try to do anything and say, look, we ain't gonna be playing this damn game. Let if let Russia, because this is the thing, it is an absolute joke. All you hear on the news, like mainstream media, is how Ukraine is winning and this and that. They're not. They're losing terribly. They are losing left and right over there. They don't. They're making the Russian military seem to be weaker than what they are. They're not. They're fucking.
They're kicking their butts. Yeah.
Gaining ground. It's going to be over soon. And especially if Trump gets in, I guarantee you that there are going to be some there's going to definitely be some negotiations between Ukraine and Russia on, ceasefire. It's gonna be, because right now Ukraine's thinking, well, hopefully if there's another Democrat, maybe they can actually. Nobody wants World War III. Do you honestly think that if fucking we start pushing down Russia's neck, that man's insane? He might just start throwing fucking some big bombs our way, and then that's it. We gotta. I think what Boss Man said, we need to lock up our borders. We need to start minding our own business. Stop getting involved in all the world's problems. Let the world solve the world's problems. It shouldn't be, fucking the whole thing with Taiwan and shit, or Thailand and Taiwan and shit like that. Fucking, if they want to be a part of China, let them be a part
Ray
of China.
said Trump is going to clean house.
Yeah.
Barkley, okay, well, now what about you, Barkley? You're up.
I already said mine.
You said yours? No no closing statements?
Trump 2024.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
When's the actual voting when's this vote take place?
It's always the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. So if November 1st is on Tuesday, then the voting has to be on November 8th. So there has to be a Monday before the Tuesday. So the first Tuesday after the first Monday.
I think we need to elect a president who's going to champion free markets, limited government, strong national defense, and strong individual liberty. I think that's what we need, And if anybody's got a problem with individual liberty, then tell me why I got to call he or she because he feels like it. Okay?
The first Tuesday after the first Monday.
What did he say?
That's a funny way to put that. It's the first Tuesday after the first Monday.
Oh,
that's how it's written.
It's
Rev,
before
yeah. It has
it's
to be.
It's November 5th, right?
Well, whatever the first Tuesday after the first Monday is. Yeah. So in other words, Rev, if Tuesday is the first, then it can't be on the first because there hasn't been a Monday in that month yet.
I do
So it
have
would
a
have to be
favorite
on the 8th.
Republican.
Yeah,
Can
November
you guys
5th.
know who my favorite Republican is?
Abraham Lincoln.
Nope. Rev? You know him
Andrew-
too, Rev. You know him. He's not a president. He's never been a president.
Oh. Ken Bolin.
Nope.
Dana White.
He's a wrestler.
Oh,
Kane.
Kane.
Glenn Jacobs.
He's not a Republican though, but he's not a Republican. He's a
What is he?
libertarian.
Oh,
He's a
Oh, I didn't know
libertarian.
that.
Yeah.
Here's
He's
the
on- hey,
RNC.
if you ask Bolin what he is, he'll tell you he's Republican. But yeah, Kane is my favorite guy in politics. Glenn Jacobs.
I think he's a libertarian. That's what I remember.
But Pesci, I want to have you set up where you can vote this year. I think you should vote, man.
Oh, hey, Pesci, here's another interesting fact. I just said it's the first Tuesday after the first Monday, but it's always on election's always on a leap year. That's another way you can tell
What, when February has 29 days?
Yeah, that's always an election year.
And
For
look,
president. For president.
and let me just throw this one last thing out. I've not always been the biggest Trump fan, but I am very, very optimistic and
Later,
excited.
Tolliver.
He's got my new favorite Republican. Damn, Meemaw's own J.D. Vance, man. J.D. Vance, I like that guy, man. He's
Ohio's own, baby.
Ohio's own, fucking raised in, like, he grew up like that is what America needs, man. We don't need a son of a billionaire. We need somebody who knows what it's like to struggle. We need somebody who knows what it's like to be in the working class. We need somebody who is sympathetic to our views, who knows what it's like. Because we're not, only 1% of the country is rich. The rest of us are living paycheck to paycheck, struggling, trying to keep food on the table, trying to keep our lights on, trying to keep the rent paid. We're trying to make it. Like, we are trying to live the American dream. We need somebody in that office, and that's why I'm supporting J.D. Vance, who has been to the bottom and has worked and fought their way to the top.
Mark Rebel Game says Glenn Jacobs is a Republican. Hey, Herman, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. What's up?
You have
thought he was
anything you
a
wanted to add on the presidential
libertarian.
race? Were you shocked when Joe Biden stepped down? Your thoughts on our president stepping down? Go on, floor's yours.
No, Pesci, I was not shocked by that. They've been talking about that for many, many, many months. But I'm going to say something that might be controversial, but I have a reason for it. I think Trump should step down, and here's why. I'm not saying he's not a good candidate. I think we need younger people now. I think we need people with new fresh ideas in there.
Yeah.
You know, Trump,
Yeah, that's why.
That's why
What's
Barkley
that?
wanted DeSantis.
Yeah, that's why I supported Ron DeSantis. I said he's Trump minus 40 years.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we need. If Trump makes it there, I'll support Trump. I'm not like the biggest fan of him in terms of certain things that he does, but so he's a jerk. Every politician. I mean, I can't really hold that against him, but I think Trump should get out too, but he won't. But I think they should.
And I got another one question for you too, Herman, because I asked everybody here tonight. Real quick, name 2 things that you couldn't believe Joe Biden did, like 2 what the fuck moments while Joe Biden was president that you saw that kind of shocked you. Go ahead.
I can't believe he actually went up and actually made speeches. That's one thing. What the fuck is he doing making speeches? The second thing. Oh shit! I don't know. The second what the fuck might be tougher. Can that be both my what the fucks that he actually talked and he tried to go up the stairs with helicopters. There we go.
Just to be clear, Glenn Jacobs was involved in libertarian politics, so he must have changed.
Frank said DeSantis just needs to stop with those boots.
Don't let Barkley.
My
fool you.
favorite governor of all time would have to be Arnold.
He was a horrible governor.
Yeah.
He was. I
Hey,
hate to say
Barkley,
it.
worst thing Arnold did as governor. Go ahead.
He had a giant white tent installed right outside of the Capitol building that was only for him to have a place to smoke his cigars.
And believe it
The
or not,
smoke-
I believe those headphones you got on, those are actually nice headphones.
Yeah, they're Bear Dynamics. I told you.
Yeah, I almost got a pair of those once. I'll
Yeah.
give you that on the headphones. Those are good headphones.
Yeah.
What about you, boss man? What were your thoughts when Arnold was governor?
Arnold was basically just a
I
pseudo
think-
Democrat, you know.
Well, I think based on where we were with Gray Davis, I think he was fantastic. But if you were just to rate him by himself and not compare him to Gray Davis, he was average. I didn't think he was bad, but he wasn't great. I think Barkley, didn't he solve a lot of financial problems just by borrowing and of the future?
Ray Davis, yeah.
No, Arnold.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Arnold just shot the deficit through the roof.
when I think he.
Literally, he pulled out his gun. Come with me if you
Bro.
want to live.
You don't even understand that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you go back on YouTube and try to find videos of when Arnold was campaigning for governor, I mean, he used to say the funniest shit. Like, remember when he called Gray Davis a girly man? He's a girly man.
Oh yeah.
He said, Gray Davis, you are terminated.
Get out of here.
I swear to God.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. He uses the word terminated. That's legendary.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have lost it.
Yeah.
He would have got my vote as soon as he said terminated.
I mean, I was a teenager, so having Arnold as a governor, I thought was fucking cool. Like, it's the governator, you know?
Sure. No, that's why I
But
said
as-
he's my favorite governor, and he's in
As an
California. I don't
adult,
even-
I just look at what he did. I'm like, God damn, man, this guy was half a Kennedy, basically.
Herman, do you have a favorite president?
Gosh, well, I'm only 38 years old, Pesci. I haven't been around that long, but I'd say my favorite president from my lifetime, I was actually alive when he was president, would be Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like 4 years old when he was president. I think 4 or 5 years old when he was president. So,
What do
Nothing
you
wrong
think-
with that. Nothing wrong
Who
with
do you
that.
think? Who do you think the top 3 worst presidents of all time are, Herman?
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask him that second, yeah. I asked
Oh,
everybody that tonight, Herman. That was one of the questions tonight.
From
Oh,
any
man.
year. It doesn't have to be from when
From
you were
any
alive.
era. And if you
From
want to
any-
say why, you can, or if you don't want to say why, you don't have to.
I would say Biden, if we're going to count him. We're counting him. I'm going to count him.
First Biden tonight. All right.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair, actually. None of us said that. You're the,
No
you're
one
the
else
first
said
person-
Biden tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
that's
yeah,
fair.
Biden,
That's fair.
Biden would top my list. I would say George W. Bush. I didn't really like what he did. You know.
Okay.
And then I would have to go with Obama.
Oh, I thought we were.
Obama
no Jimmy
hit a couple
Carter.
lists tonight. Obama
Jimmy
hit Barkley's
Carter.
list.
He was just
Wait.
going with the ones he knew.
All three of
And,
us. All 3 of us had Jimmy
Let me
Carter.
think of
on
another
our list.
question I asked. Oh, what do you think, and if you don't have an answer for it, it's cool. What do you
Yeah.
think the best thing Trump did while he was president?
Oh gosh, he did a lot of good things. The best thing he did?
Yeah, that was one of the questions I asked everybody tonight.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd have to give that some thought. He did a lot of good things. Shoot. Damn, I don't know. I can't really think of anything.
It's all right.
I mean,
No problem.
my head, the good things that I could choose many things, but I can't think of one specific thing.
I got you. Reagan, BC, a couple comments in by BC. Reagan was very overrated as a Republican. Reagan banned machine guns, and, well, there's why BC doesn't like him. Reagan banned machine guns, and you sheared in amnesty. What does that say, Barkley?
Ushered in amnesty.
Okay.
He did that.
Ushered.
Yeah, he just gave everyone anyone that was here illegal. He said, "Okay, you're legal. Now we need to stop people from coming in."
Reagan parked an aircraft in Gaddafi's backyard, says Sean Smith.
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi.
Muammar
Well,
Gaddafi. Leader of Libya. Dictator of Libya.
Bossman, will you be voting McIntosh Fowler this year?
If I was gonna vote, I would vote McIntyre.
Fuck yeah.
McIntosh.
But you know what? I believe Boss Man on that because he said he votes third party in with his brain or whatever. I would definitely vote McIntosh. I would actually vote for my first time ever in my life to vote for McIntosh. Because I know Jacob Waters would get him on the show eventually. And Jacob Waters was busy or he would have been here tonight. He was personally invited. He would have been great for tonight, but he was unavailable.
McIntosh Fowler, the rock stops here.
The Rock stops here. 2 trips. What's that place he went to? Barkley, what'd they call it? What's that psycho place he went to? Or He's the only one who could see it or
Montauk.
something. Montauk.
Montauk.
Yeah. Straight out of Montauk would be his like fucking campaign slogan. Straight out of Montauk. That'd be great. That slogan would be worth a vote. Yeah, or would Hillary not allow that? Motherfucker, you're giving us away.
You're dead.
George Bush is rolling over in his grave.
Goddamn sheriff thinks that Hillary Clinton is eating children in the basement of a pizza parlor.
That's why Bolin would have been super good for this show. If I would have said, Bolin, name one good thing Trump did, I guarantee you he wouldn't have said anything.
Nothing.
He wouldn't have said anything. In fact, he would have cut me
no.
off before.
Passion? I'm not going to answer that question.
I would have let everybody else go first because he would have interrupted you guys as soon as you would have said one thing. But,
Read.
Well, Reverend, you got anything else to say before we end it? I will be going live, but I'm just ending this as its own part.
I think Reverend's asleep.
Trump 2024 and let's make America great again.
What about you, boss man?
I don't have really anything else to say.
You good? Perfect.
Yep.
Herman, you good?
No,
2024.
I have one more thing
Huh?
to say, John. I have one more thing to say, Pesci. John Jones, 2024. He's the best. According to him, you know.
I'll second that. John
Yeah.
Jones 2024. God damn it.
Actually, no, Trump 2024, but there we go.
Gotcha.
Boss man wouldn't vote for John Jones.
I
I
guarantee
got
you,
gotcha playing. Barkley can't hear it, but I got gotcha playing. Barkley.
Gotcha.
bet you if Boss Man went
Take it for fucking tips and shit. It's WWE Champions time. I'm stupid.
Wait,
All
hey,
right, well-
Pesci, hold on. I
Yeah.
have a statement from Jake Hudson. I'm going to read the Jake Hudson statement here.
Okay.
He just sent me, and I'm going to do it in Jake Hudson's voice. You have to. You know, I'm not a Republican, Democrat. I'm an independent, but I don't vote. But I think it was great that Biden got out of the race. Thank you very much. Fuck you. Bye.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Fuck you, bye.
Yeah, I thought Jake had to say that too.
All right, we will. Those of you watching, thank you. We'll be back in the other Discord. God bless. Say a prayer for our troops.
May God
Thank
bless
you to
you
my-
and may God bless America.
Thank you to our guests. Eric Roman sends his regards, and he says Trump 2024, it's not just a policy, it's an addiction.
God,
Thank
I
you,
wish
folks.
I could.